We are checking out a 16-acre surveyed property in the Ozarks. This is Tract 12 at the White Ranch project. It's actually just shy of 17 acres. It's 16.88 acres. That's the easement road on the north side. We're looking west, so the property's on the left side of the road. It was pretty overcast when this video was taken, but we're still going to get a good look at the property. That's the private driveway. It does have a private driveway that goes back in a couple hundred feet and then opens up into a small clearing, so you're able to pull your truck off the road essentially right away. And it should be big enough to get turned around and all that good stuff and give you some privacy. I mean, this is a big tract, so you have a lot of options as far as creating some trails or sites, but having one in place is generally pretty convenient. You're going to see a lot of big timber on this property, mostly hardwood trees, so red oak, white oak, hickory trees, that kind of good stuff. But I believe this tract had some nice pine trees on it as well. We might be able to see that from the air. It's a lot easier to spot the pine trees in the wintertime. That's a great time to see if you have any pine trees because they just pop right out. Okay, so we're kind of flying southerly. That's the driveway, which apparently goes back several hundred feet and then opens up into the cleared area there. So it was just recently cleared out with the mulcher. I think they cleared the bigger trees probably with the chainsaw, and then they cleared a lot of the smaller stuff with the mulcher. And they generally scatter some grass seeds. So I mean, by the springtime, that's going to be just a beautiful sea of green. And as we look southerly from the site, you can see it continues to rise up, but it appears to rise up really gradually. So not seeing anything steep on this. And we're going to fly directly south. So you can see it rises up and actually levels off. So I mean, you've got the opportunity for a pretty unique building site or food plot or hunting spot or campsite or whatnot up there. You could potentially open up an awesome view to the south if you remove some of that smaller timber on the high part. So those darker trees that we're looking at right now, those are big pine trees. So there is definitely some pine on this property. That's cool to see. Nice mixture of timber. I mean, it's beautiful. This tract, I believe, on the far south side had a little creek bed, or that's what the topo map showed us. That's probably what we were looking for just now with the drone video. And then I believe it showed another creek bed toward the north part. So I would guess they're both going to be seasonal creeks. That's the case with almost all creeks or streams in the Ozarks. Now looking westerly, that's the county road off in the distance, and that's a neighbor. He just did a pond. Not going to be visible from the property, but from the air you can kind of get the bird's eye view here. So now we're flying back to the north, obviously. This was really overcast, cloudy day when this video was taken, unfortunately. But we're still getting a pretty good look at the property. Hunting, phenomenal. White-tailed deer, turkey. Obviously, even if you don't do any kind of wildlife management, you're going to have wildlife out here. But if you did food plots or salt licks or just about anything, you're going to attract the deer that are already crossing over the property. They're going to tend to stick around your property if you do that. But in addition to that, we've got the White Ranch Conservation Area, which is only about 5 miles away, and that's several thousand acres of additional land that you can generally use for hunting and camping. It's public land. It's got the Spring River running through it, which is beautiful for swimming, for fishing, canoeing and kayaking, all that good stuff. So that's only about 5 miles away. So now we're looking southerly as we drift northerly back toward the gravel easement road. Very private, very peaceful. The easement road is not a public road, so it's only for property owners and their guests. A lot of people really like that, especially if they're talking, if you're looking at the property for maybe hunting or building a hunting cabin or a seasonal vacation cabin that you're only going to use a couple times a year. Being on the private easement road is a big plus in those situations. Gorgeous property. Check out the rest of the listing page if you're not already there. And if you have any questions, please let us know.